What's up, everybody? What's going on? ¿Cómo estás? Oh, yeah. Welcome to the big show. All right, let's get to work. We got things to do. Well, we got a few things to do. All right, cool. Hey, Pragnish, what's up, baby? We're kind of in the nut grind on the market right now. This is what we call like a slow roll D rider. We're just kind of trending higher here, but we're really in this like kind of just like grind over here. And so you're seeing this a lot where like you get a spike in the morning and you kind of come back down, or you gap down and you spike up. And that's kind of what range, when you're stuck like inside a range, that's what happens. You know, weakness gets bought, but like big spikes or strength gets faded off because you're stuck in the range. This market just really kind of needs like a decent pull, but we're not really getting it just yet. So, you know, what we're doing right now is like we're kind of stuck in a sandwich between, right, your 9 EMA and then you've got your 200 SMA over here, and the market is just sitting there kind of hanging out. And that's okay. At times you just need rest. If you think about like an individual stock, right, and say like a stock went on a 20-30% run, what would usually happen after, right? It would go in a flag pattern and consolidate for 10-15 days. Well, you know, the market is very similar, right? You know, when you go on a big run, you know, it may have to consolidate or pull back for, you know, X amount of time. And I think we're kind of starting to see, right, that momentum slow down. Now, the market's still acting very bullish. We're above all our moving averages. We're just starting to see some of the momentum kind of grind down. So we may just go in a resting phase for, you know, a period of a few days, and we'll get this thing going. I wouldn't worry too much about it, though. We're not seeing anything in the short-term price action yet that would indicate the market is ready to roll over or that the market is even done. It's just tired, right? It needs a little bit of a rest. What's up, Egbert? That's a nice English name right there, too. You know, in the old Anglo-Saxon times, there were a lot of King Egberts. Cool name. That's good. So we got a Carter Wilson and an Egbert. Woo! We're just filled with prestige today. Good stuff. All right, SPY, same type of thing, right? We're above the 200, but we're kind of sandwiched under the Bollinger Band. We're in the grind. Look, our stochastics are 93 on the market overall right now. So individual stocks are gonna just be a little bit of a grind, but there's a lot of good earnings plays still popping around. Damn, this fucker didn't wait for us. So we had this car on watch. It had some earnings out pre-market, and I was hoping it wouldn't break out right at the open. We're busted over its 200 SMA. It's got some room to go here. You got a 56 million share float, so nothing too crazy. You can see it just longer term. It's been in a bottoming pattern, but if you can break and hold over your 200 SMA, right, that can signify that at least on a long-term basis now, you are no longer in a downtrend. So if you can break and hold, start building a pattern over there, that's good. Damie, what's up, baby? How you doing? So I keep this one on watch. This one is actually something that would be a candidate for an ORB, an opening range breakout. If it doesn't do that right, watch for that pullback to the 9 EMA or 20 EMA at the open. NCLA. So now you got this one. This one looks all right. I've actually traded almost every stock I can think of, but I haven't really ever traded Norwegian Cruise Lines before, so I'm not sure exactly how this thing moves. I'll have to watch it at the open, but I do think you have probably a little bit of upside on this bad boy. ALB's got some good earnings out saying that they've been basically, right, raping and pillaging the whole world for lithium deposits and selling them to Elon Musk and making tons of money. So now they're busting up like 6 points. You got this base breakout over here, and I think you got room to like 93, 94 on this one. This one should move pretty well. It doesn't have too big of a float. I'd be okay with that one. Mike Cheka. So macro and infrastructure. If you remember, for those of you guys in our chat room, right, we shredded this. This would have been last year around the same time. It dropped on earnings, and we took like this monster shred in this thing. It trended down most of the day. So I know from the past, right? Anytime you see like an earnings place, especially when you start to see the gaps, like kind of remember like how you traded it the last time, right? It'll give you a clue on whether it's worth a damn. Because so many times you can put like an earnings play on your list, something's on an up gapper, down gapper, some type of PR, and then you see it, it looks great, and it moves like crap, right? So kind of get into your spank bank and always go back and see like, how did I trade this thing in the past? You know, how did I react to it? This one did have a good range. We had a nice shred on it, so that's why the gap down plays haven't worked that well, but I put this one on because, you know, we had a nice shred on it in the past. Bungee, hold on. Yeah, this bunge is a bear flag right now. If it could stay under its trend line here, 51.75, I'd look at potentially a short. I don't like these things though when they start to creep up pre-market because a lot of times if they do that and you start to see it really bull, it might go red to green and even rip the other way. So you got to be careful. This thing would have to really roll back over before I look at, you know, taking a short in this, but otherwise it looks okay. So let's add a couple different non-gapper stocks. This TME is an IPO stock. This one looks actually pretty good. Yes, for the 2 days you've had like a lid right at 1720. So if you can kind of break and hold over 1720, there was a seller parked in there for a good chunk of the day. Just kind of like you'd see the thing dripping and then somebody just do a little PP on it and knock it back down. If you can break and hold over that 1720, I think, you know, you'll be able to kind of attack this thing and get going. Chinese stocks have been hot, okay? Every single day, so we don't always talk about them in pre-market because they're just permanently on the watch list, but Chinese stocks, right, they've been really, really rolling. Like Huya, this is stock we trade, you know, all the time, right? This sick range. You got 10% range on it. Keep a list of Chinese stocks on your watch list permanently for the whole year because this is going to be the year. This is the year of the dragon, right? These things are going to be going. So you're starting to see really like a lot of bottoming action in these things. But this is PDD. This is the same sector as TME. You could get an IPO breakout on this thing at some point. It failed the last time it tested it because it was just kind of a two-tester, but now you're making the third run on it. So you got PDD, Huya, IQ, TME. These are Chinese videos type stocks. Keep an eye on all of them. You know, this is going to be the year. The Huya looks the best out of it. You know, you saw a nice kind of push yesterday. It's also just got great range. It reacts really well to the VWAPs and stuff like that. When you look at like an individual stock, like when you're running through your scans, go on the 5-minute chart for the last couple days and just see like, is this stock tradable? Does it react around the levels that we watch? So there's all different types of indicators, moving averages, like all this kind of stuff, right? But like so when you look at a stock, you have to figure out, does it react well to the stuff that you watch, right? So we watch 9 EMA, 20 EMA, VWAPs, things like that, right? We trade flags, flat top breakouts. And so when I look at a stock, like I need to know, does it actually work on, you know, does my stuff work on this bad boy? And if it does, then that's always good, right? And Chinese stocks in general, the liquidity can suck at times, but this one's got 5 million shares in volume, so it should be pretty good. Mr. Chrisman, what's up, baby? You know, this sedge is going to be a little bit mid-pump. You know, you're like stuck under resistance, but above support. It could go either way, so I wouldn't worry too much about that one. I think there's probably some hotter plays. VFF, I don't have any price data on VFF, my friend. Don't think I didn't pull it up for you. It might just be an IPO. Maybe it's an IPO. Good. All right, so the phase for today. OSTK, we had an inside day yesterday. What's an inside day? When you get a big monster, an MPC, right? You know, everybody's familiar with the MPC. Very important technical trading term, right? Once you get an MPC, if you get an inside day after the MPC, now that's actually really bullish. So if you come in and take out that range, it ends up being pretty good. So keep MPC I mean, MPC. OSTK, TME at the top of your list. Garmin opening week. Garmin opening week. So this had a monster, right? Like this is an MPC also. But so you had a monster yesterday, and then you're getting a little bit of a gap down. So when you get a big day the previous day and you get that MPC, if you get a little bit of a gap down and then you go red to green, so on your TC2000, just add them as dots. Like on TC2000, there's a setting so that the open or the close of the previous day, like you'll just have little check marks. So when it goes red to green, you can hit it, right? And if it goes red to green and then breaks this range, I think that will start a secondary run. But if it doesn't, it may fade off a little bit today. So you always have to kind of have two different plans on this thing, right? If it goes red to green and then breaks this range, you start a new leg. But if you stay under it, right, you haven't cleared that level of resistance, then you may just get an inside day and kind of hang out. So, always kind of be mindful. I do like this Garmin, but I think, it could go either way. We need to see that red to green. A lot of times when the red to green goes on these type of things, they're going to happen like within the first minute. So like in 3 minutes, you're going to want to start watching that bad boy and do it. So as always, let's go do what we do. It's Friday, Thursday, I don't even know what day. But regardless, we got to go make a little money. Good luck. Manage your risk. Remember, the market's in a nut grinder mode, so don't over trade. Sometimes when things look hot, they fall, and when they look bad, they go. That's the epitome of what range trading is. Now, if you don't know how to trade the actual ranges and the buy low, sell high, vice versa, then you want to trade earnings plays because those will move irregardless to what's happening in the general market. Hasta mañana, hasta luego, peace in the Middle East.